You believe you are the one who sees, thinks, and acts. You assume perception belongs to you, that awareness begins and ends within your mind. But have you ever examined who is truly seeing when you look, or who is aware when you say, I am? Ibn Arabi, the philosopher and mystic of Andalusia, challenged this ordinary assumption. He proposed that consciousness is not human property, but divine participation. Every act of perception, he said, is God perceiving himself through you. You are not the origin of awareness, you are its expression. If awareness itself is divine, what does it mean to claim, I see? And if the one who sees is not you, then what exactly is the you that is being seen? Ibn Arabi lived in a period when philosophy and theology often conflicted. He did not argue belief against disbelief, but sought to understand the nature of being itself. His central insight, Wadat al-Wujud, or the oneness of being, claimed that all existence is one indivisible reality. In this view, everything you call self, world, or God are not separate substances, but expressions of one being observing itself. Awareness is not an attribute of the mind. It is the foundation of reality. That if all consciousness belongs to the same source, what makes you believe yours is personal? You live with the conviction that seeing, thinking, and deciding are acts you perform. Yet you do not select the arrival of thought, nor control the appearance of perception. They arise on their own, within a field you call me. Ibn Arabi pointed to this unnoticed dependence. The I that claims authorship is a product of thought, not its cause. It arises after awareness has already begun functioning. You do not produce perception, you participate in it. If awareness exists before the I appears, can the I truly be its owner? Or is it only a temporary designation within an infinite awareness? For Ibn Arabi, creation is not something outside God. It is God revealing himself to himself. He called this process tajalli, divine self-disclosure. Every form, every being, every mind is a site where this self-knowing occurs. When you become aware, it is not your perception of God, but God perceiving himself through the form you call you. This does not erase individuality, it contextualizes it. You are one of countless points through which being experiences its own presence. To exist is to be a moment in divine recognition. If all awareness is one continuous act of self-knowing, can any being be truly outside of it? If all perception and action belong to divine awareness, what becomes of free will? Ibn Arabi approached this question not by denying human choice, but by redefining its level. You act, decide, and intend, but your capacity to do so arises within the larger reality that enables action itself. Human agency operates within divine causality. You are both actor and instrument, autonomous in experience, dependent in essence. He described this not as contradiction, but as completion. The divine expresses freedom through you, and you experience that freedom as will Dot. If your freedom is the movement of a larger being, to surrender diminish agency or reveal its true source. Awareness does not begin with your birth or vanish at death. It shifts its appearance, but not its existence. What you call your consciousness is a brief participation in an unbroken continuum of being. Ibn Arabi described this as divine knowledge unfolding through changing forms. When a form ends, awareness persists. It cannot cease because it never began. Only its expressions rise and fall. The awareness that hears these words is the same awareness that has always been. It takes on shapes, speaks through countless minds, and forgets itself as mine. If awareness is uncreated and continuous, can individuality claim even a moment of ownership? Every instance of understanding is not human mastery, but divine realization. When you comprehend something, it is not you adding knowledge to the world. It is the world recognizing itself through you. Ibn Arabi described all knowing as God, knowing himself in particular forms. The knower, the known, and the act of knowing are one reality observed from different angles. Human learning, therefore, is not accumulation but participation. You are not separate from what is known. You are the space through which it becomes known. If all knowledge is self-recognition of being, who remains to claim wisdom as personal possession, you might still feel distinct from what is being described. You still imagine a you observing God. But Ibn Arabi argued that this division is conceptual, not real. When thought subsides, awareness remains without boundary. God and self are not two realities. They are perspectives within one awareness. To say God is seeing himself through you is not a poetic image. It is a statement about the structure of existence. Perception is one act, not two participants. The perceiver and the perceived are modes within the same reality. If separation exists only as an idea, what remains when the idea fades? From this understanding arises a new kind of ethics. If God perceives through every being, then every encounter is sacred by nature. To harm, dismiss, or exploit another is to disregard the same awareness functioning through you. Ibn Arabi saw compassion not as virtue, but as recognition. All beings are expressions of the same perceiving reality. Respect and humility follow naturally once unity is seen as fact, not belief. If each consciousness is a facet of one divine act, what could superiority or exclusion possibly mean? You may resist this conclusion. It feels as if individuality is being erased. The ego maintains meaning by defending its boundaries. It wants to remain distinct, to continue saying I. Ibn Arabi saw this resistance as essential. Without difference, unity could not be experienced. The ego is not an error. It is a function. It allows awareness to know itself as many while remaining one. But once recognized as such, its claim to ownership dissolves. If even the illusion of separation serves divine purpose, can anything truly fall outside the whole it belongs to? Eventually, reasoning reaches its limit. Thought depends on separation to function. But truth has no divisions. Ibn Arabi called the next step knowledge through presence. It is not new information, but a realization that knowledge and being are the same. Awareness no longer looks at reality. It recognizes that it is reality. At this stage, no new insight is added. The need for addition ends. Knowing becomes identical with being. If all awareness is already God's self-seeing, what remains for the mind to seek? You began believing you were a conscious being trying to understand God. You end by realizing that understanding itself was God observing through. Ibn Arabi's hidden truth was that existence has never been divided. The self, the world, and the divine are three words for one process: being aware of itself. You are not outside that process. You are its momentary expression. Nothing begins, nothing ends. The observer and the observed were never two. There is no you to dissolve and no God to merge with. There is only awareness, endlessly aware of itself. If all seeing is God seeing, who remains to say, I have seen?